Welcome back everyone, my name is Lee from Lou's Kitchen. Today we're making homemade pea and ham soup. So the colder days have settled in now and they're here for a while now, and I thought a nice hearty soup would be great for today. So I'm going to make pea and ham soup. It's a nice classic and it's so easy to do. I'm going to do it with my slow cooker today because I've got other things to do today. So I'm just going to leave it all day to cook, and it's just very hands off. So the first thing I've done is I've poured my split green peas into a bowl and covered with water last night. And it's not entirely necessary to soak them overnight, but I find when you're slow cooking these beans, I do find if you don't soak them, they do tend to not cook through properly. So that's why I've soaked them. But if you want to do it on the stove, I'm sure you wouldn't have to soak them. And here's the ingredients. It's so easy. So we've got our soaked split peas there, and then we've got a couple of pork ham hocks from the supermarket. No, pretty cheap. They're only about $6.95, which is actually really good. I've also got my ham bone from Christmas. Yes, it's been in the freezer that long, and I saved it for this long for exactly this recipe. So I usually fry it in my pea and ham soup to add extra flavour, and also a little bit extra meat in there as well. Then we're also going to need 3 carrots, 1 clove of garlic. Now I picked the largest clove of garlic I could find. It's massive. 1 onion, 2 sticks of celery. So I've got something already chopped up in my freezer, so that's equivalent of 2 sticks and a few bay leaves, and that is it. Pretty easy. So all we're going to do is we're going to chop up these veggies and I'm going to plop it into the slow cooker and leave it all day. So with my celery, I usually buy a whole head of celery at a time, and then I know I'm not going to use it, so what I do is actually chop it up, portion it up, and just freeze it. Celery is almost 90% water, so it's going to come out anyway, and most of it's going to go to soups anyway, so it's not going to make a huge difference. So I like to keep it in the freezer, nice and convenient. Next door is doing some renovations, and there's a bobcat there at the moment, and you might hear that in the video, unfortunately. I'm sorry. So with the carrots, with all the ingredients, we're going to actually puree this after. So we're going to cut this up into reasonably smallish pieces, but don't need to be exact or anything like that. I think that has to be the biggest clove of garlic I've ever found. Just like that. So by all means, you could throw all this into the slow cooker and be done, and just leave it all day. I'm going to do another step. I'm going to actually fry off my onion and garlic first. I like to just have that fry off a little bit, just so that you get the raw oniony taste out of it, and I find it just overall just makes the soup even just a little bit better. So I've just got a frying pan heating up with a bit of olive oil. I'm also going to add the carrots as well, to give them a head start as well. Now the onions have some colour on them, we're ready to load up the slow cooker. So this is my slow cooker. It's a 3.5 litre Sunbeam. Had it for years. Does the job. So first we're going to add our split peas that I've just washed and rinsed and drained. We're going to add our ham hocks. Our Christmas ham bone that I just took from the freezer. And we're going to add our vegetables. So we've got our carrot, onion, and garlic. Just caramelising them just a little bit improves the flavour so much in that. I'm going to add 2 ribs of celery. My hands are clean. And then I'm just going to add a few bay leaves. And this is the main thing that actually really flavours it. Now I'm going to fill the slow cooker with water. And I'm going to fill it right up to the top. This one doesn't boil, so even if it comes up right up to the lip, it'll be more than fine. Just keep in mind that some of the slow cookers do cook a little bit hot and they might boil, so just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to turn this to high. I have to remember which one's high now. That's low, that's high. Because the numbers have all come off it. And we want to cook this for about 8 hours. So if you're going, going to be busy all day, this is a great meal. So put it on in the morning, leave it all day, and then by dinner time it should be ready. So I'll see you back when it's ready at dinner time, and I'll show you what to do to finish it. So if you find your slow cooker cooks really slow, you might actually want to do this on the stove because it does actually take a little while in a slower one. So cook it all in the same pot, bring it up to a boil, and then reduce to a very slow simmer. This will take about 4 hours, and I'll show you what to look out for when it's ready. So this is ready now. This is done in about 8 hours, and you can see the peas, when I touch them, they fully disintegrate when you press them, and also the bones. The bones have fully come apart, and that means all that wonderful collagen and everything's been released from the bones. So now we're going to pull out the bones and the bay leaves. We're going to puree the soup, and then we're going to add the ham back to the actual soup. Make sure especially you take out all your bones so that when we go to puree it, we're not blending up any bones in it. And as you know, your bones, you got everything out of them when, they look like this. So the bones will go straight in the bin. There's nothing on them. I think even the cat, he's patiently waiting, but I don't think he's going to want it. With the rest of this, I'm just going to run a knife through it quickly. If you left this in the soup while we were pureeing it, it would almost just disappear. So I like some chunks of that, so that's why I like to hand chop it. So now we're going to blend it. Now I'm going to use my stick blender. You could use just a normal blender if you want. Just make sure that when you're going to blend it, start at a really slow speed and gradually increase that rather than going straight away while it's still warm. Just make sure you've taken out all the bones and just, give it a good search through and make sure there's nothing in there. So once we've got that as smooth as possible, then we can add our chopped ham back into the soup. And as you would have seen, I haven't added any salt or pepper or anything into this. And that is because the ham bones can actually be quite salty. So I'm actually going to try the soup now. And then if I need to add salt and pepper, I'll do that now. I think it needs just some salt and pepper still, so. All right, so we're ready to serve. Let's try it out. So let's try this out. Now, if you cook the ham hocks long enough, you're gonna get all the benefits of all that collagen and everything out of the actual bones. So good. And it's something I always make every single winter. And it's so easy. You just put everything into the slow cooker and you just leave it all day. And then all you gotta do is just blend it all up that night. So it's really easy. And it's such a good soup. It's such a good classic, and I think every family should try it. It's really cost effective as well. I think it probably only cost me maybe $12 to do that huge batch, and that's going to do me about 4 meals. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a good old like, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, bye!